Lab number 215. In this lab we will continue our development of our electricity consumption checker application, and before going to details page we will need also to fix the title of our exit tab. So instead dashboard we will need to have respective title, but the trick is that it should be either exit confirmation, either it should be actually the logout confirmation, and this is a bit tricky because this title should be translated into several languages in the same moment. So we will implement that by doing a bit of coding right here in a title. We'll use Angular for that, and let's do something like this. So if iOS will be null, meaning the environment, we will do the following. We will actually confirm exit, or let's name it something like logout or exit. Yeah, if it's true it will be exit, and then apply a translation right away, just like this. And if it's not, then instead of exit we will call this logout. Again, the same way with translation. So just like this. Let's check. Yep, it is working. So now we will need actually to check if it is iOS or not, because we are missing that part of code. So inside the controller we will need to implement that check, and we will do it using our MobileFirst Platform client-side API. So for checking the exact thing that we need to call, let's go to our browser and let's go to Knowledge Center. Yep. Let's go through 6.3 and then up to 7. Yep, so we have our version 7 documentation here, and we need to go to API reference and check for client-side API and then JavaScript client-side API. And inside we need to review available classes for us. So in our case, I think it should be somewhere in work-light device. Looks like not, so then it should be under the client. Yeah, so the thing that we need is called getEnvironment. So in our case, we will need to get this environment. So it should return us something like this. So Android, iPad, iPhone, whatever. So let's try to implement this code with the client getEnvironment. So we'll do this simple check once again if work-light is not undefined. So when we just entered this exit controller, we'll check if work-light libraries are not undefined. And basically, if they are not, then we will need to get the environment. Let's create some new variable called something like current environment, something like this. And for this variable, we will actually use client get environment, and let's try to log it to see what we got from it. And just like this. So now I need to build and deploy my app, because of course this part of code won't be visible from mobile browser if we will just launch it in Ionic Live Reload. So we will test it on our mobile device, I mean Android emulator. So let's reload our app. And I will open additionally inside Chrome inspecting device tools, so we will be able to see what's happening. And just like this. And now let's go to our exit tab, and we see in the reply that current environment is Android. So basically, if we will be running iPhone or iPad, we will need to set iOS to 1 or to something. So let's do. So basically, let's add that simple check. So if our current environment equal to iPhone, or if it will be equal to iPad, then basically all that we will do is we will set our iOS variable to current environment. And that's all, pretty much simple. And basically we will also need to change the name of our status tab. So the same way as we did with our view title, we will need to implement the same on a status tab, but the trick is that on the status tab it will be the different variable, so I mean we won't be inside our controller. So we will need to make this variable available across different controllers, and we will do it by working with a root scope. So first of all, let's change in our tabs this exit to this code. So next step for us will be actually to change inside the controller our scope iOS to root scope iOS, and for that we will add a dependency to root scope here. It's not a bad practice, but anyway it will work. So just like this. And then let's also change this all tasks name of the title. We don't need it because we actually have available tasks. So let's reuse the same. So in our all tasks, instead of all tasks, we will use here available tasks. just like this. Yep. And now finally we can focus on our details page. To get to details page, we actually need to get a task, grab a task from available tasks into my task, and then click on my task here in my tasks. So let's open our my tasks HTML file, and let's add some kind of button under our div, and actually it will be great if we will separate this one. So just like this. And we will just have a simple link here, for example, with a flag. Like this will go, if we will click on it, to our tab details, and then it should go to the ID, for example 1, which will be the ID of the task, and this will be named something like details, just like this. So let's check. Yep, it's not working because we will need to specify it in a bit different way. Of course, it's need a hash before, just like this. Yep, it's not working. So let's check in our app.js what should be the proper name of our detail page. So it should be my tasks details ID instead of just tasks. So we should have first of all our abstract tab, then slash my tasks, and then the ID. So let's do it. Tab my tasks, then details, and then this ID. Yep, it's still not working. Let's check once again. Oh, we don't have the details here, so just my tasks and then ID. Yep, so the final look should be like this. Yes, so this is the details of this specific task. And actually this is the content of our details page right here that we'll be working with. So as you remember, our actual details page should contain the name of our city or village on the top. Then we will need actually a quite simple list. So we'll need to provide the username, the name of our home owner, the name and surname where we will go to, then account number, old value of his meter, and then the full address together with a map. So let's start with this. Let's go back to documentation and grab some list. So this one, for example. And then place it here instead of this part. We don't need any padding, so I'll just remove it. Yep, so instead of this icon we will select another one later on. So for now this will be just our name and surname. Then we will need an account number and old value, so let's do it. Let's duplicate this item. So it will be account number, just like this, and we also need an old value. We can make it as one line actually. So for that we will need to create a simple row with two columns, I mean. So this will be our row. And those will be our calls, so let it be call 50. So we'll make it 50% width. Just like this, and the same here for seconds. Yep, so just like this, those will be our two calls. So in one will be account and second one old value. Like this. Then we will need our full address. So we will do again copy pasting. Just like this. And then we will need the map, and we can take a map also from our previous work, so from all tasks. We can just specify a map for now, and then we will change it later on. So just like this. Of course, we will also need to make changes in our controller to make this map usable. So we need to copy the same things that we were doing inside our all tasks controller. So we'll need to grab this one and place it inside task details controller right here. And we will need to add the same dependency. Yeah, so here's our map now working. And again, we need to disable scrolling because this feature will kill us otherwise. So let's do it by specifying on ion content scroll to false. Yeah, so scrolling is not working anymore. And we have our map here. And we will also need to create two buttons. So wrote and I'm here button. So let's do it by copying them from Ionic documentation. So we will need to work with button bar. Let's grab this code and paste it right after our map, just like this. So one of the buttons will be wrote, and second will be something like I'm here. So let's do them. Let's prepare them for translation. Just like this, and the same for wrote. Yep, and so let's look now on our buttons, if we will be able to see them. No, we won't, because the map size is too big. So for now we can just change CSS, and then we will, of course, when we will be working with the styles, need to think about how to do it properly, but for now let's just do a bit smaller map, like 200. Yes, so now we're seeing our two buttons, root and I'm here. So let's also add the icons to those buttons. So let's use something default like classes icon left and something like on home for default view. Yep, and basically we can do the same for a second button, just like this. So we have two icons ready for us. So next step for us will be actually to change all those icons to appropriate things. So let's open our Ionic documentation and pick something inside Ionic icons. So we are working with iOS icons already, so I think it will be good to continue using the same icons. And first of all, we will start with the people, so I am person. And basically, let's pick up outline icons. So this will be our person. Then we need account number. For that we can take hash, for example. Or maybe we have something better for hash. Let's check. No, we don't, but this is okay. So this will be our account number, old value. We need some kind of meter. Yep, so this one looks cool. And then we will need a full address. So we will need some kind of map here. Let's use this one. And then our two buttons, so road and I'm here. For road we will use this sign. And for I'm here, something like this. Let's check how it's looking now. It seems to be okay, but this I'm here icon is really small compared to others. So let's pick up something else. Let's pick up this one. Yeah, now it's better. So basically, what else? We will need to change the title of our page. So in this case, it should be actually the name of city or village, as we agreed. So I will just type here city or village manually, and then we will see how it will go. And basically, when we are clicking on I'm here, we need to go to other page that we actually did not add in our app.js. That page should be called something like finish task. So it is a page when we are Actually, in the client house and check in the meter, we need to enter a new value and upload the picture that will take of this gauger meter. And let's basically create it. So in our app.js, together with tab details, let's create a new state called something like tab details finish, and the URL for that will be my tasks tab details and then finish, and we'll have finish HTML here. And so actually we can work with the same controller. So task details will be okay because we are working under this task, so the same controller will be reasonable. So let's create a new page here. I will copy the details so it will be easier for us. Something like this. And when we are clicking I'm here, we should go to that page. So let's add some kind of action there. Recent click. Let's call it finish task. Now let's call it a bit differently because we'll probably have the same later on. So let's call this go to finish, something like this. And inside our controller, now we will need to have the same part of code responsible for this task as we already had before. That will navigate us through the states. So we need to add state dependency here, and let's copy this one, for example. And in this case we will go to our finish tab. So let's check how I call that. So tab details finish. And just like this. Let's check. It's not working for now. So go to finish. It looks okay. App.js looks okay. Our finish page with two buttons at the bottom. Actually, it looks like we are already navigated to the finish page. Yeah, let's change something because it looks totally the same. So let's remove the map here. And let's remove those buttons, we don't need them. So we'll go to my tasks 1, just like this. And then when we click in I'm here, actually it adds the same thing to the URL, but it's not working. Let's check the issue. Now it's not working. So let's check our code once again. So inside details, we are actually clicking go to finish. Actually, we can even do the half here, because it's A, I mean, we can implement something like this. So it will be tab, and then we'll have our URL looking like my tasks, then the ID, and then finish. So tab my tasks, then first, and then finish. And then instead of first, pass here the specific ID. So let's check this. It's not working. We don't need this slash in the beginning. This looks okay. So let's check our app.js. Yeah, so this is the issue. We don't need to specify tab.details.finish, just tab finish. Yeah, and as you see, it's already working. So let's check once again, probably from the beginning. So intro, skipping the intro, details page. I'm here, yeah, and we are getting inside the finish task page. So on this page, on finish task page, we already have the name and surname, which should be there. We already have the account number and old value here. We will also, instead of full address, need to provide the ability to enter new value. And for that, we will use, again, documentation for Ionic Framework. And let's use some kind of forms here. So something like this, probably. So inside the list, we should have a chance to enter this label. So let's do it instead of this address, just like this. And let's check how it looks. Yep, it's working. So now we will need to actually do the same. We need to provide an icon. So let's check this one if it still works. So we'll copy this code right here, and we'll specify that this will be also item icon left class, just like this. Left, of course. It doesn't really behave as we expected, so most probably we'll need to change it later. But we still have a chance to enter the value. Let's just add some kind of placeholder to make it more visible. So right here, let's add something like placeholder enter value, just like this. And instead of username, here we will have almost the same construction. With new value. just like this, and then we will change the styles for it later on. Yeah, it's working. So next step is to provide the possibility either to take photo or pick the photo, and I think it will be reasonable to do it the same way as we did it here. So just a row, and inside this row 2 columns, just like this. And instead of account, we'll call this take photo. And instead of old value, we'll name this pick photo. And we should have different icons here, so let's pick something. So this one will be for taking photo, camera. And this one will be for picking photo, like an album. And just like this. Yeah, so next thing that we will need to do, we will need to display the photo after pickup. So we will need to give a chance to view that photo. So for now, because right now we don't have any logic here, let's just do the following. Let's just add here some kind of div, and with class our photo. Something like this. For now there will be a dummy text like this is photo, and basically the final step will be to provide a button finish task. So pick it up from documentation one more time. So just like this, the simplest one. Yes, so this is our button, and when we're clicking on this button, we should go back to my tasks. So ng click, and let's call it finish task. And then we will of course need to create this function. So for now it will contain just the same code to go to finish task. By the way, we don't need this go to finish because we replaced it. So finish task will navigate us to tab my tasks, and let's check. Yep, so this is working. Excellent. We still can go back, which is not the best case. We will change it a bit later. But on this step, right now, our lab 215 is finished, so thank you.